South Africa have won the ODI series against Australia, and I am extremely proud of the way the team conducted themselves in the field, bar maybe some bad fielding from Tristan Stubbs. Overall, I think with the ball, we were quite disciplined in this final game. But I think as a unit, they were clinical, ruthless, and managed to wrap up the series early. We didn't leave it till the last game, waiting for an opportunity to hopefully win the series like we did in the T20s. We came out firing, won the first match, and then went out there again and won the second one. So I'm extremely happy with the way the ODI team is developing, as well as the test team is developing. Now, there are some question marks over the readiness of our T20 side, but we do know that the inclusion of maybe one or two players changes that completely. But I'm starting to like the way this team is shaping up, the ODI side that is. And I just want to go into that a bit on today's show after we talk about what actually happened in the match. So let's get this conversation going. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought of the win, how you guys are feeling after the win. Should we be ecstatic? Should we be feeling just good? Should we be feeling just fine? Or should we be a little bit concerned about certain things? I don't know how you fans are feeling out there. So let's have that conversation and share your thoughts with me so that I understand where you are at with this ODI side. Now, I like to separate the formats and the player development for each format. I don't like to cross them over and judge players across different formats. I like to look at them individually per format. And I do so because your approach can be very different according to the format. And I think that some players are getting judged across formats. And I don't think that that is fair on the players. But yeah, we'll get into all of that on the show. So guys, subscribe if you're new, please. Click that notification bell as well for all future videos. Please smash the like button if you can, and comment in the comment section after the video has ended, after the live has ended. Please get involved with the comment section. You guys have been excellent with that. Please keep it up. I've tried to reply to some, but I definitely do read it, and I do like all your comments. If obviously I do like the comment. I'm not going to lie and just put a heart on the comment if I don't enjoy the comment. So yeah, that's me. I'm transparent like that. So yeah, let's get straight into today's show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we discuss everything that has to do with the ODI series between Australia and South Africa. South Africa have ended victorious. They have set an unassailable lead of 2-0 with one more game to spare on Sunday. And I am extremely happy actually about the victory because, okay, in the ODI format, yes, our record is very, very good against Australia, bar in knockout competitions. But generally speaking, in series and individual ODI games, we tend to beat them quite often. So I don't know how we should look at this, but I think from my perspective, seeing that it's a new coach, new format, new players, uh, a new approach and mentality, I will take this as a massive win and a step in the right direction. So let's get into the match and first discuss what took place. I think that's the perfect place to start when it comes to discussing this review, obviously, for those that haven't watched the match or didn't get an opportunity to watch the match. Sorry. Um, okay, so South Africa opted to bat first today after winning the toss, which I think was the right decision because we know on these wickets they are a bit slow. And at the end of the day, it proved to be the right decision based on how everybody batted, both sides. So it was a little bit sticky, it was a little bit slow, spin came into play, but particularly the change ups from bowlers was the key to the match and to taking wickets on this particular strip because bowlers like Nathan Ellis and Lungi Ngidi were quite good on this wicket, and it's largely due to the fact that they are bowlers that do have a lot of change ups in space, length, line, slower deliveries, etc. So all of those things came into play today, and it really tested both opposition batters, both batters. Sorry, both batting teams. What am I saying, guys? I'm very tired. Um, because yeah, I didn't get much sleep last night. There was a loud crash or an alarm that went off last night that kept me awake. And as I just fell asleep, and then I woke up, and then after that, I just couldn't fall asleep. Probably slept about 3 hours, and then because this game, obviously, I need to be up at 5:30 so I can make the graphic of the toss. So yeah, I was up since then, and ODIs are quite draining, quite long, and I watch every single ball, so it can be quite draining. So sorry that I'm a little bit tired, and if I mess up here and there, forgive me, please. But um, yeah, Ryan Rickleton and Aiden Markram, I wasn't happy with him. They both gifted their wickets away, and Ryan keeps on losing his wicket in this fashion, and it's something that he needs to work out of his game. I don't like to see opening batters lose their wicket standing still and fishing outside off. I don't like to see wickets fall like that. If you're going to lose your wicket, then at least move your feet and make it seem like you actually tried to play a shot that you would play if the ball was in a good zone. No batters score runs fishing outside off or pushing outside off with and um, staying standing still in the crease and then fishing outside off. That's not what happens often with good batters. So it's a pity that Ryan didn't get into the flow of things like he would have liked to in the series. Aiden Markram, similarly, also once again giving his wicket away. And that's the problem with Aiden, and probably the problem that fans have with him is that he'll come to the party in a game and we'll be like, wow, what a knock. And then you expect him to do the same. And then sometimes he does look good and then go out. But in this case, he got a duck, 4-ball duck. And it was a gifted wicket. You could see how upset and angry he was. And to not have your captain start things off well can make things quite tricky from a psychological standpoint. And we didn't get off to a great start, of course, as you can see. And we were already 23 for 2 after 5.4 overs. What made it even more difficult is that we weren't scoring at a nice rate either. So not only were we losing wickets, we were struggling to score runs and to put pressure back on the opposition bowlers. Tony Dezorzi came in, and Matthew Brzezinski came in, and they were good. I thought they were really good. There was a period in the match where Tony had a positive strike rate, um, and was looking extremely well, looking extremely good, and really hitting the ball well, timing the ball well as well. And I thought that he was going to go on and score some runs because when I put up the team this morning, there was a lot of backlash towards Tony Dezorzi's selection. Now, Temba Bavuma, he was, of course, rested for this particular match, according to Cricket South Africa. So, just to to confirm that with you guys and read out the exact statement from CSA, from the CSA media manager regarding Temba Bavuma's omittance from the side, from the 11. Proteas men's one-day international captain Temba Bavuma has been rested for the second ODI against Australia at Great Barrier Reef Stadium in Mackay on a Friday. This decision is part of his workload management as he recovered from a hamstring strain which he sustained during the WTC final in June. Although he experienced no discomfort during the first ODI on Tuesday, the Proteas medical team recommended he be rested for the second match. He will be available to lead the side in the third ODI on Sunday, with Aiden Markram standing in as captain today. And I think Aiden Markram did really well as a captain. When it comes to the batting part, that's another thing altogether. He has been pretty inconsistent, but we can give him maybe some leeway for getting that half century, a very important half century in the first match. So Tony and Matthew Brzezinski, they batted really well. They took South Africa to 100 to 90 for 3, close to the 100-run mark, when Tony also lost his wicket pretty cheaply, leading edge straight to Zampa. I haven't been very impressed with the way he's played spin this in recent times for the Proteas so far. There's been matches, yes, where he was decent, but he's been in very bad form recently and really been struggling for form. And if there was any opportunity that he could have staked a claim for the side and maybe even put his hat in the mix with regards to a starting position, which I highly doubt he'll get now because Temba's batting at 3, but still you'd want to play your best cricket and prove the fans wrong. Prove them wrong that they assessed him in an incorrect way. As a player, that's what you want to do. You want to get the best opportunities to try and silence fans when you have the opportunity, especially the ones that are critical. And he didn't take advantage of his opportunity today, unfortunately, losing his wicket extremely cheaply. Matthew Brzezinski was fantastic, and this guy keeps on breaking records. After obviously scoring that 150 on debut, it's the first time it's been done. I think he's the youngest guy to ever do it. He went on to score his fourth consecutive 50 plus score. And this is the first time, and he's now equaled the record when it comes to players within their first five games who have scored that. And he's now done it in 4. So I think he's the first one to actually do it consecutively. And he also scored the most amount of runs for any player in the first 5 ODIs. And he scored that runs in 4. So brilliant performance from him today. He really was the backbone of the innings. He really was the foundation of South Africa's innings today. And he scored 88 or 78. And again, it looked like he was going to kick on and score a century. But then he too, there was no need for them to go for big shots, I felt, because we were aiming for minimum 280. And we were very much on course to get there. And I don't think a ball before drinks was the right time to maybe go for a massive shot like that, a risky shot like that. We needed him to bat through the innings. And unfortunately, he lost his wicket too. And at that stage, South Africa were on 179 for 4 after 31 overs. Or at the start of the 31st over. Tristan Stubbs finally getting some form. It wasn't his free-flowing best, but he worked really hard for his 74 of 87 deliveries, 3 fours and a 6. And he obviously was very important in the partnership between Brzezinski and himself. And I was very disappointed with Tristan losing his wicket in the manner that he did, because then again, I know you were supposed to push and bat through the innings, man. And I really wanted to see him batter towards the end and be there in the last five. Then he could have gone and went for it. I felt he maybe pulled the trigger a little bit too early. They just needed to continuously tick over runs, and there was no need to go airborne. He could have gone with his normal cricket shots, play the ball on the ground into the gaps, run around between the wickets, etc. Those type of things he could have done. And I think that would have been a better approach until he gets to the last five. But unfortunately, he lost his wicket as well, and he kind of left it up to the rest. I know Vian Mulder was the first one to go. Deva Brevis again was disappointing, but we don't have to ridicule him. He's a youngster, and um, we need to give him some time, I think. And the one thing I would want from him is that even though he's batting at six, right? I know there's like this understanding that a number six must be a finisher. Carl Verreynne scored a lot of runs at the bottom of the order at 6 and 5, not being like this massive finisher, just playing positive cricket. You can be aggressive without having to hit sixes all the time. And I felt that at 32 overs, when he in that 30 overs, like we were at 30 overs at the time, 32 overs, 31, 33 overs at the time, there was no need for Deva to try and go big. I felt that he could have maybe just adapted his game a bit, got his eye in, so that he's there for that last 10, because that would have been a lot more valuable to have a firing in form. Deva Brevis reached that. Vian Mulder was the next one to fall after that, and then Senaran Mutasamy as well shortly after that. He has not impressed with the bat so far, Senaran, in any of his matches that he's played. And Tristan lasted at least till the 44th over, but I wanted him there for the last five. And unfortunately, he too lost his wicket. Also visibly pissed off about that as well. And we got a very important cameo from Keshav Maharaj. He actually batted pretty well with 2 4s and a 6, and he got 22 of 24 deliveries. And his innings was so crucial to getting us to that 277 run mark, because South Africa were trying their best to get to 280, and maybe if they could, if they were lucky, 290, 300. We were short from it. And I have a little bit of a criticism about Keshav. In that over, I think it was the 49th over, three balls into the right up until that moment, he was farming the strike and not running and sending Lungi back. For some reason, in the 49th, on the third ball of the 49th, he decided to take a single and allow Lungi to face balls. And that was a big mistake in the end, because Lungi lost his wicket on the first ball of the 50th. So after taking another single. So it's a little bit of that's a little bit of a problem. I want to see our batters, the more batter friendly guys, the guys that are more conducive for batting, I want them to take charge of situations like that and face majority of the balls. Like you must see the way Australia bats, like you can see that happens. If any of the senior batters are with players lower down the order, they farm the strike as much as they can. That is so important when it comes to those type of match situations. So yeah, we got 277, and we struggled against Marnus Labuschagne. I don't know why. I don't know if it's unfamiliarity or what it was. Nathan Ellis was very good. Aaron Hardy was okay. Xavier Bartlett was good. Travis Head was okay, I would say. But the main problem for South Africa was obviously Adam Zampa. With regards to wickets, he took 3 for 63. But I would say that Marnus Labuschagne was more important because in the match, because I feel that he really kind of put the he put a stopgap on our scoring fluidity at the right time of the match. Now, obviously, Zampa took a lot of the top guys as wickets, like Tony DeZorzi and Tristan Stubbs. So that was also very important because he broke that partnership. But I do feel that at the time that Labuschagne took his wickets, he really saved a lot of runs, I feel, for Australia. Then came the highlight of the day. The highlight of the day for me was our bowling. And wow, I'm sitting here saying that, guys, because for how long have we been talking about we need to be better with the ball? Look at this right here. We spoke about it. Look at that. 6 extras only. 4 leg-bys, 2 wides. That is more like it. No no-balls. That is more like it that you want to see from your bowling attack. Consistency, clinicalness. Lungingidi, my word, he was fantastic. And he didn't bowl a whole lot of slow deliveries today. He kept his pace up. 5 for 42 in 8.4 overs, economy of 4.84. He was absolutely phenomenal. Him and Monday Berger really a put a stop to the scoring rate of Australia, because normally throughout the series, even in the T20s, they've been very good in the power play. So to stop them the way that they did in the power play was epic. So I like the way they bowled. Nandre was exceptional today as well. And I think that Ngidi was. And we dropped Marsh and we dropped Cameron Green. Stubbsy, I don't know what's going on with your fielding. I hope your your skills come back to you, because you've always been a great fielder. So I don't know what's been happening with Tristan Stubbs' fielding, but that I thought that was going to cost us today, but in the end it didn't. They, after getting those that early breakthroughs, obviously taking out Travis Head and Marnus Navaskachny early, they were 7 for 2, and Ngidi and Berger taking those wickets. The game did start to dwindle, not dwindle a little bit, but it started to go a little bit in their favor. Luck was starting to go their way. And Mitchell Marsh was starting to find a little bit of flow. Cameron Green was starting to find a little bit of flow. And then Aiden Markram's captaincy was brilliant to bring in Mulder and take out Mitchell Marsh. And then the game started to dwindle and drift. That's the word I'm looking for. Because in the end, they ended up scoring 62 runs as a partnership, Cameron Green and Josh Inglis. And we were starting to get nervous. At least I was starting to get a little bit nervous, because it looked like these two could win the game for Australia. They were really going at a decent rate. I mean, Josh Inglis scored 87 of 74 balls. So he was brilliant. 10 fours and 2 sixes. He was really excellent today for Australia. And that Cameron Green wicket just turned the game back into South Africa's favor again, because then Berger came back into the attack when the game started to maybe move on a little bit further. Then Markham would make a change and wickets would happen. So I think his captaincy was brilliant. The fall of the wickets over here was 133 for 5 in the 28th over, then 175 for 6 in the 34th over, then 184 for 7. That was the big wicket of Josh Inglis. And it was quite surprising, because it was uncharacteristic for Josh Inglis to play that shot that he did at that particular time of the match, especially in the form that he was in. I was shocked that he got dismissed in that way by Lungi Ngidi, but well done to Lungi, because he was brilliant towards the end of this match. He took very, very important wickets. And Mutasami also, the wicket of Cameron Green was so important as well. Taking court and bowl. I know, sorry, I said Mulder took out Cameron. I meant that Mutasami took out Cameron Green. So that was another turning point in the match. And Maharaj was quite quiet today, and we ended up winning this. That's what made it even more fantastic. Even though Maharaj bowled with an economy of 5, 0 for 40 after 8, he had a decent role to play. But my lord, the way Lungi Ngidi bowled today was phenomenal. We ended up bowling them out for 193 and winning by 84 runs. It was a solid, ruthless victory to clinch a series. So that's my thoughts, guys. of of the game. Now let's get into the live chat as I normally do. Um, I'm going to take the chats now. Okay, Cricket Channel says next match, let's give chance to Pretorius and rest Rickleton. That will be an interesting one. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Luandre Pretorius and what he can do. I think it would be fair now that we've wrapped up the series. It would be fair to maybe give some other players a chance. It's a perfect opportunity now for Coach Shukri to test a couple of things. Craig says, as clinical as could be with the dropped catches, really need to put in a perfect performance in the third. As clinical could be with the dropped catches, really need to put in a perfect performance in the third game to make it a whitewash. JLR says, you've mentioned that you're not a big Maxwell fan. I'm curious why you say that. I think he's a bit of a doer. Well, I will second what you said. I find him a little bit cocky, arrogant. Like, yeah, I find him a bit cocky and arrogant. That's what I don't like about him. He's like sometimes I feel like he rubs things in your face. Like the way he celebrates as well. It's over the top. He's not very humble. And I don't mind if you back yourself and you're confident, but I prefer maybe that's just me, but I prefer sports people and personalities that are a little bit more humble. Like they know they're good, and you can tell that they know they're good in their performance and the way they approach things, but they're humble in their reaction to things. Like I've seen maybe one or two Maxwell interviews where he was like, where he like 100% just like takes credit for stuff. And I know he's been in situations where it's true, but sometimes I don't know. I prefer a little bit more humbleness, but that's each to their own, I guess. Tala says, Khalid, do you think there will be changes in the playing 11 because we have won the series already? We can give other players an opportunity like LDP. I think there would be. I would be surprised if if Coach Shukri doesn't make any changes. Justin says, AB just said that Brewer should bat at 3 or 4 in all formats for Proteas. I agree fully with him. My 11, the next match is Pretorius, Marken, Breedsky, Brevis, Stubbs, Mulder, Bosch, Mutasami, Maharaj, Mapaka, and Gidi. Cool, that's a nice 11. And I would like to see that as well, giving the new players an opportunity. And also giving Brevis and Luandre chances in more natural positions for them. JLRSA says, I also don't think it'll be good for Mulder to also take number 3 in ODI team or higher up at now at least. I get that we have different batters to accommodate in the white ball setup, but yo. Hi, Khalid says Dreamer Vision. Oops, sorry. My name's with the I. I'm just saying. Justice says, but I understand because that's how I pronounce it, so probably that's what you mean. Justin, I hope this will be the same ODI squad for England. We don't need Miller and Rassi. Maybe versus India they can come back, says Justin. Interesting point of view. Holly, bro, nice to see you, bro. Nice to see you too, Dreamer Vision. Texas, bro, we should have won the New Zealand Tri-Series final and this T20 series. Yeah, we should have, could have, would have, but yeah, we won the ODIs. So that's a positive step in the right direction. Dreamer Vision, bro, what are your thoughts on Brewer's batting position at 6? He scored 100 at 4. Your thoughts? I don't like him at 6. I want him higher up. But it's very difficult to drop Brzezinski. You can't drop Brzezinski. How can you drop Brzezinski? Because ultimately, if you're going to move Dewald up, that's whose place he's going to take. It's Brzezinski. And Matthew is playing incredibly well. He's in incredible form and he's looking really good and comfortable in this format. So you can't. You're gonna have to just find a space. If you want Devil in the team, you're gonna have to find a space for him. Either he swaps to 5 first and then stubs it at 6. But you can see what happens when Stubbs has time at the crease. He can put in performances like he did today. Tala says, Khalid, do you drop Rivers if Miller comes back, or do you back him to play? I would back him to play, to be honest. In this format, in T20s is a different story. Miller comes straight into the side, but I think Dewald and Luandre have really cemented their positions, I think, in that T20 side. But in this format, I would rather want to give Brevis a long enough run, because I feel in 2027, that's like almost 1.5 years away. I mean, a lot can change for David Miller in that time period. Bro, Khalid, I think Temba is done after 2027 World Cup. His body can't take it anymore. I think after 2027 World Cup, definitely. Justin says, do you think Brzezinski is injured? He didn't field at all. It's possible. I don't know what happened with Matthew. Justin says, if they gonna give Pretorius a chance, then they should bat him where he is used to batting. Dreamer saying, I love your analysis, Khalid. Justin says, do you think loving your analysis, Khalid, do you think the first 11 is Shukri's main team forward? No, I think Marco Janssen will still come into the mix. KJ Rabada will still come into the mix. With regards to batting, perhaps. Maybe Miller. I don't know where he stands on Miller with regards to ODI cricket, because people have only asked him, I think, when it comes to 50 over. As the Gashu says, the wicket was slow. This is actually genius. If I'm reading this correctly, this is actually genius, because it says, as the Gashu says. Like if I... It reads out cool. If that's actually your name. The wicket was slow, but I think Ryan is trying to contain himself too much. Well done to the team. I believe we now have a very strong first 11 and good reserves. Dreamer Vision says, Khalid, you're expecting Khalid, you're exceptional super. Deva Brevis is a kid. Take time, same. Luandre Pretorius, if you give them a play, don't question him. Just play. He's consistently back him. That's it. As the Gashus says, Brevis had time and should respect the good balls and the wicket is, but punish bad balls. What? Brevis had time and should respect the good balls and the wicket, but punish bad balls, even if it's the first ball. Sorry, I had to read that twice. Clearly. Tabu says Brzezinski, Brevis, Mulder's wickets were predicted by the commentators because you could see the traps they set for them and they fell into them. Happens often. Dex says, take chats, bro. Enough of the analysis. You don't tell me when I must take chats or not, Dex. Come on. Khalid, where is Kutsia and Nokia and Williams? Kutsia is going to be playing in the SAA side. Nokia is going to be playing. And Nokia is... I don't know what's happening with Nokia. And Williams, I think, was injured, but I don't know if he's going to be selected or come back. Dreamer says, what is your thoughts on SA approach of batting? Should be in general what the word like baseball? No, they must just play adaptable cricket. Their natural game plans are good enough. Ahmad Sham says, what about giving a chance to Pretorius in the dead rubber? I said we should be giving him. We should be giving an opportunity in that last game. I think we should be giving a lot of people opportunities in the last game. I think everybody that didn't play should play in that last game. That's just my opinion on the matter. I think that is what is important from that perspective. Dex says, bro, what are you expecting from the squad for England tour, which will be announced tomorrow? Do you think Linda will get dropped since Patrick Maroney does not like him? I don't think Patrick Maroney doesn't like him. Um, I don't think Linda will get dropped, to be honest. Uh, I believe he should be getting more opportunities to play. I don't know why he didn't in the T20 series. In a squad of 15, George Linda should be a part of that. I don't see how he cannot be. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, and subscribe, and click the notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to comment in the comment section after we've ended the live stream as well. It's very important that you guys do all of those things for me as well. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again for another review show after Sunday's game. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening and your weekend. Peace out.